Look, they're crying because they don't get food stamps anymore. Go work, you lazy bums. Go get a job. Look, everybody crying. They cut my food stamps. No more food stamps. Go work. Go work.
Hope your day gets better.
Shut the fuck up!
Positive energy.
Shut up! You don't understand English!
I dare you to tell me to calm down right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
America, how could you do this to us again? What the fuck? How are we supposed to live another 4 years like this? What the hell? What did you do to us?
Alright, so listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little trumpets, like, y'all won. I know y'all happy, whatever the fuck. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. Because I got one more fucking cigarette in me before I start lighting your asses up. Alright? And that's word to the United States of motherfucking America. Yeah.
The 2016 election didn't just send Trump to the White House. It unleashed a full-scale meltdown in the media that ranged from teary-eyed laments to doomsday-level rants. Watching the top 10 media freakouts was like watching a soap opera without the romance. Anchors and late-night hosts alike went from barely concealing their disdain to openly blaming voters and delivering melodramatic soliloquies about the supposed end of civilization.
I really do not like crying on the internet, but I'm not even about to pretend like this some shit that I'm finna be embarrassed about, bro. Like, I ain't never been so devastated behind an election. And it's just like, when you a black woman surrounded by black men and they say all this shit like, oh, he's not that bad, and oh, he just hates everyone, bro. Like, it was my brother homeboy I was talking to the other day, a black man, and I found out that he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, he does not like you. And he was like, oh no, he just don't like everybody. What? So that's a good candidate for you? Someone who just fucking hates everybody? Like, what? And I'm fucking crying in my room this morning. My brother gonna come up in here and say, what's wrong with you? Like, he can't think of one possible reason why I would be upset right now, bro.
Black women, you don't owe this country shit. You don't owe this country one fucking thing. Not one fucking thing else. It's time for us to bunker down.
I will not ask you to look for any silver linings. I will not ask you to feel anything but grief right now. Donald Trump won the election, and the consequences will be real and devastating. But I'm reminding myself and you that on the road ahead, there will still be opportunities to fight back.
I just texted my best friend of 14 years, and I asked them who they voted for. They said Donald Trump.
I just don't understand why we can't have a female president. Like, why not? Like, how much more qualified and intelligent and, like, perfect for the position do we have to be?
I will make it my life's mission, my dying wish, that none of you weirdos can hide in the future. You can't lie to your kids. You can't lie to your grandkids about, oh, it was so confusing. It was hard to see the truth. He was so convincing. I will not let you get away with that. Like, that was not normal. This is not normal. I will make it clear to everyone. Like, I will make sure no one is confused about how things were right now in this very vital, crucial time in American history, that it was not confusing. It was not confusing at all. You just stood for that. You stood with that and for that. Like, I can't emphasize enough, there will be nowhere to hide.
Over on ABC, it was like a funeral. Apparently, we're heading for internment camps.
I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship.
Whoopi Goldberg wasn't happy either.
He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name.
And now we've got to censor social media to prevent a result like this from ever happening again.
Think critically. Well, it would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is D.C. and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations of social media.
The ladies of The View are back, and they're clutching their pearls harder than ever. After Kamala Harris's 2024 loss, Joy Behar, never one to understate her opinion, declared it pathetic that America chose Trump. And in true View fashion, Behar didn't hold back, blasting voters for ditching an intelligent, qualified woman in favor of Trump, a guy she reduced to simulating sex with a microphone. But wait, there's more. Behar tossed in the ominous suggestion of Trump setting up internment camps, as if viewers hadn't already gotten their daily dose of View fear-mongering. Sunny Hostin, meanwhile, took the shock and outrage up another notch, insisting that sexism and misogyny were the only explanations for Trump's gains among Latino voters in a Texas county Clinton once won. Because clearly in the View's world, voters couldn't possibly make their own independent choices. They must be brainwashed, or worse, traitors to their own identity. And apparently this election is even stripping away rights. Hostin went on to say she felt profoundly disturbed that her daughter now supposedly has fewer rights than she did, an emotional flourish that seems a little rich considering America's protections and rights haven't exactly vanished overnight. But there's the rub. For all their intelligent analysis, the ladies of The View don't seem interested in real self-reflection, or understanding why so many Americans didn't find their chosen candidate as appealing as they did. Instead, they'd rather double down on finger-pointing, inflating fears, and treating the entire voting population as if it were one giant culture war battleground. But maybe, just maybe, Americans are tuning out their shrill lectures for a reason.
Saved your ass, MAGA dude.
Thank you so much. We love you so much.
I don't love you.
But we love you.
I don't love you.
I hope God helps you.
I do not want your love. I want you to find yourself in a Princess Diana car accident.
Really? But why? We love you.
Yeah, we might.
It's personal now. I'm coming for every single straight man in my family. Hi. Y'all fucked around and found out. And now this is gonna happen. You're welcome. So I am absolutely, now I'm sure, now I'm positive, that the yearly hunting trip that y'all have been having, that my father hosts, that my uncle goes on, that my uncles, my brother, my cousins that are like my brothers, their friends that have all known me my entire life, that claim to love and respect me, have been having a yearly claim to love and respect women in general, but obviously that's bullshit.
I'm gonna be honest, I was very blindsided by the results this morning. I've decided that cigarettes don't count today, and I honestly might go get a tattoo. But I also have decided that for the next 4 years, I am going to abstain from schmex with men. And funny enough, I actually just broke up with my boyfriend a handful of days before the election. I highly encourage any other women that are single.
Donald Trump has 267 electoral votes. 267. You remember that plan that we came up when we was on vacation on Memorial Day? She was like, yeah, I do. I said, it's time to put that plan into action. So the plan is children. Victoria, BC. I looked it up the first time he won office. Victoria, BC, they are one of the best places for black people to go. They are one of the warmest places in Canada, and it's not too far from here, from where I live at least.
No matter what you do, you will never put out my love. You will never make me give up hope. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter, you will never put out my love.
Shut up, bitch!
We are about to enter
a political period that will have consequences for the rest of our lives. We now find ourselves in a time in history that has precedent, and we find ourselves in a time where there are times of fascism and authoritarianism.
It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. It was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth.
I don't think Donald Trump's a good person. I'd even go so far as to say he's a bad person. Now, in my defense, I'm only basing that on everything I've ever been taught about what makes someone good or bad. That's it.
Who knows what the next 4 years are going to be like? What we do know is that we're going to be governed by a monstrous child surrounded by cowards and grifters. And my brain keeps pumping out an unlimited supply of ramifications. It's really hard to see a bright side here.
Jimmy Kimmel, the self-appointed moral compass of late-night TV, nearly broke down on air, declaring Trump's win a terrible night for practically everyone under the sun. Women, children, immigrants, the elderly, you name it. His prophetic claim that it was secretly a terrible night, even for those who voted for Trump, was a shining example of how out of touch the media could be, convinced that half the country just didn't realize they'd made a fatal mistake. Others on TV barely managed to hide their contempt for American voters, calling the results a referendum on cultural resentment, as if middle America voted out of spite rather than a desire for change. The response was as hyperbolic as it was condescending, with some journalists practically throwing themselves on the proverbial fainting couch. What the media didn't seem to grasp was that their very disdain was a major reason why so many Americans turned away from their viewpoints. The election results were a shock to them precisely because they'd been talking into an echo chamber, dismissing other perspectives as backwards or unenlightened. From labeling the outcome disturbing to outright bemoaning a misogynistic society, media elites turned what was supposed to be election coverage into a televised therapy session, shaming the public for daring to vote differently. Instead of offering nuanced analysis, they went into moral overdrive, effectively alienating viewers who could see right through the theatrical outrage. Oh, the media meltdowns just keep coming. John Dickerson, a CBS News reporter, couldn't even get through his post-election sit-down with Stephen Colbert without choking up, as if he were mourning the fall of democracy itself. Tears in his eyes, he told Colbert that when explaining the results to young people, he just couldn't stop thinking about his boys. Well, that's sweet, John. But the rest of us aren't exactly buying the act. Dickerson painted the picture of two buses, one full of idealists and the other full of self-serving, power-hungry individuals. The message? If you voted for Trump, you must be on the selfish bus, right? Because that's what all those millions of Americans who were fed up with the status quo surely had in mind. More power, more riches, more control. The empathy here is absolutely suffocating. Then, of course, there's Stephen Colbert, the king of late-night comedy, with a habit of reminding America just how much he despises half the country. He opened his show with the usual smug sarcasm. Hey there, how are you doing? If you watch this show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, we get it, Stephen. You're devastated by the results, but please, spare us the self-congratulatory pity party. Colbert wasted no time in scolding the majority of Americans who voted for Trump, shamelessly accusing them of not caring that much about democracy because they didn't vote the way he wanted. The audacity. Colbert was practically wringing his hands as if this wasn't an election in a democracy where the majority, yes, the majority, gets to decide, even if it's not the outcome the media elite hoped for. Apparently, the lesson here is that if you disagree with Colbert, you're not just wrong, you're a threat to democracy itself. These comedians have taken self-righteousness to a whole new level, completely ignoring the fact that millions of Americans voted in what they believed was the best interest of their country. regardless of what the media or late-night talk show hosts think. The real joke here is that these media figures can't seem to comprehend that the rest of America doesn't care about their tears or their sanctimonious rants. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Support this channel through membership. You can also support through PayPal link in the description. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.